life.
They're not pursuing us back. And when they do, y'all accuse him of sexual harassment. Now he's a creep. It's no wonder men don't want to approach us anymore.
That's what to sex allegations, women being just so rude and disrespectful, and projection.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before I get started, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, and the notifications button so you can get my videos as soon as I release them. Next, I would not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if you want the intro music and the link to my second channel, go to my homepage where you can get both. Okay, today I'm going to be reacting to a video of a woman explaining why men are not approaching them. With no further ado, let's get to it.
Women these days want to chase the guy, pursue him, text him, but then get bitter when they're not pursuing us back. And when they do, y'all accuse him of sexual harassment. Now he's a creep. It's no wonder men don't want to approach us anymore.
Well, I'd love to sit here and tell you that I have absolutely no idea, but I feel like I do. I think in today's society, especially Western society, modern day feminism is warping the minds of women and leading them in a direction that doesn't even benefit them. It's gone from having the same rights as men on a citizen level, which was necessary, to wanting to be viewed as equal to men, which I don't care about, to now being in competition with men and trying to prove who can be more of a man than a man.
She's absolutely right. And I think that that's the biggest problem that we have right now is a lot of women trying to prove to a man who's the better man between a man and a woman. I've told you guys this before. A lot of women are the weakest vessel. You do have strong women out there, but you want to know the difference between a strong woman and a weak woman? A strong woman can hide her powers back. Only a strong woman can get married. Only a strong woman can actually get a man. A weak woman can't. Why? Because a weak woman can fall for manipulation. A weak woman can fall for agendas. And that's what we have now. The world has been broken down to where men and women have been weak. So once you've been broken down spiritually, then it's easy for you to be conquered, which is why you have a lot of men who have feminine traits and they're not aware of it. And you have women out there who have a lot of alpha and testosterone traits as men, but they're not aware of it because they're both under a mind manipulation. This is why we tell guys you have to go your own way, because it's easier for a man to find himself and not fall for less agendas than it is for women. Women, it's easy for them to fall for agendas because they live in themes. Women always have to have something new going on with their life. So when it comes to an agenda, it's easier for them to fall for it because it feels new to them.
Even the best type of man at that. They become the kind of man that has no emotional intelligence, cannot take criticism, has to control every situation, very sexually liberated, completely neglecting their feminine energy, which they're constantly fighting with, because deep down in their soul, they don't even want to be like that. They want love and attention, but when they finally find a good man, they're scaring him off with all that heavy masculine energy. But they don't want to hear it, they don't want to do the self-evaluation and the work to build their self-esteem, and then they get desperate and end up in situations like that.
That's where you see a lot of women that are like in their 40s and 50s that were feminists in their 20s and 30s. When they get around 40 and 50, they start to become very, very, very desperate. But normally around that time, they have hit the wall completely because they're too manly. They didn't take care of themselves. They only dedicated themselves to their jobs. That's where you start seeing a lot of Karens out there. And now you're starting to see a lot of black women who act just like Karen too, because they're reaching levels of desperation. And the reason why they're mad at the world is because they actually evaluated themselves and gave themselves a realistic understanding that they will not get a man. It's the same as a lot of you guys that are black pilled and you're fully convinced that you will not get a woman. So then you just go full blown black pill. That's kind of like what a feminist Karen is. She's full blown black pill. She hates any and everything because she's not happy with herself. And she feels like there's nothing that she can do with herself to change her outcome whenever it comes to love. I just want a lot of you guys out there to understand that when it comes to attraction, people are physically attracted to people, but if you have good energy and a lot of like strong will and power, that also shows and make you attractive. You got to realize, for a lot of you guys out there that are ugly and don't believe you can get a woman, it's a guy out there uglier than you that has a lot of them.
Guys, I am almost positive a lot of you guys are going to be on my side on this one. Nowadays, a woman who shows any kind of masculinity is a complete turn off. That is an automatic disqualification in my book.
And I agree with him on that. It is an automatic disqualification, especially when you're a man that have a plan. If you're a man that has a plan, you don't have time to come home and be combative with a woman who doesn't have a plan. She's just trying to prove to you that she's stronger than you and that she's more powerful than you. That is the biggest turnoff now in Western civilization. But you have to understand what Western do, the rest of the world is starting to follow now because of the internet.
They're not pursuing us back. And when they do, y'all accuse him of sexual harassment. Now he's a creep. It's no wonder men don't want to approach us anymore.
That's what they call the men they don't like.
So it's been brought to my attention that men no longer want to come up to women anymore. Due to sex allegations, women being just so rude and disrespectful, and rejection. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know men didn't want to come up to women anymore. I'm barely finding this out.
You just found out?
A lot of girls don't understand it because a lot of girls are living different realities. There are certain parts of the world where you're going to have more guys pursuing women and getting rejected. Then there's certain parts of the world where there's guys getting a lot of women right now that they're not even understanding what's going on. This is why it's very important for you guys to get up and travel around the world. Big shout outs to Alfie Kingdom Podcast. He is one of those guys that are in this space and living out there, men going their own way. He actually lives it out. He's always traveling. I think he's in Africa right now. That's a good channel for you guys to follow. But that's what's very important about life, is that when you start discovering these different areas about life, you'll notice that a lot of these relationship complications are geared towards a certain group of people.
Where have you been?
Why do women choose to cuss guys out when they come up to them and approach them? I have no idea. I apologize for that.
No, they only do that to the men that they don't like. Yeah, it's too late for that now.
He's right about that. Women are only gonna say, this guy's harassing me. This guy is treating me bad, or this guy's a creep, to guys that they're not interested in. Like, you got to always think about the school dance. When you guys went to the school dance and you go to pull up and dance with a girl, the first thing she does is turn around and look at you and size you from up and down. All right. You're just like any other guy, but depending on how you look and how she feel would determine how victimized she is when it comes to you. That's the thing about a woman. You put the allurement out there to allure all the guys in, but when the guy lures in who's the wrong guy, then that's when it becomes harassment. And that's the problem, is because women can always use that in their favor, and they can also use it to lie.
There's just too many fine men. And if it takes me, the women, having to come up to you guys and shooting my shot, saying what's up, being the big stepper, then I'll just have to do that. And I'm going to just start coming up to you guys and shooting out compliments and see where it takes me.
Well, that's the end game. Most girls are going to have to resort to that either way. Period. Women have to turn around and start to pursue men now, because men are actually happier going their own way, doing their own thing. Granted, you still got some beta simps that are online that are going to be there for moral support for the woman, but women are going to stop living this virtual reality world, and they're going to have to resort to coming back into reality. And in reality, they're going to have to pursue the man.
So if I start coming up to y'all in the grocery store and I say, excuse me, sir, you are just so sexy, I want a response. Okay, I don't want none of that shy stuff.
You do, you boo. I guess if you see somebody you like, you might as well shoot your shot. Now, guys, this is how badly things have gotten, guys. It has gotten so badly to the point now women feel the need to approach men. We can now start expecting more women to start approaching men, just out of desperation.
All right. And I want you guys to go check out the channel. It's called ADM Crazy Reviews. And that's the video that I'm reacting to today. But the moral of the story here, guys, is what if the woman does start to pursue men? Are you ready to be in a relationship? Are you ready to take on that responsibility? The answer to most of your questions is going to be no. And the reason for that is because you haven't figured yourself out yet. In order for someone to be with you, in order for you to be with someone, you have to figure yourself out. Next, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say this again. You can only be in a relationship with a woman if you've been taught how to be in a relationship. It's the same thing with a woman. If she hasn't been taught how to be a wife, she's not going to be a good wife. So don't be afraid to live in your place, she live in her place, and you guys are just girlfriend and boyfriend. That's where we're going into nowadays, all right? Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels, and if she ain't holding you down, she's slowing you down. Hasta la vista.